and welcome back to Robot Wars Battle of the YouTubers, where so far me and Shanika are through to the grand finals with our respective machines High AF and Pika Destroy. 2 down, 6 to go, and tonight it's the turn of my friend AK9K with a bunch of space-themed machines and a couple machines based off monsters. Okay, cool. I mean, then again, he pretends that he has the Omnitrix from Ben 10, so, you know what? Given that, it makes a lot of sense. Let's see how his fights line up. Pure chaos is going to ensue with two blades, Supernova and the Alien. The Void hoping to take on the Walkerbot Tantalus. Behemoth the big lifting bucket against the beast known as the Kraken. And the Flipper Bullfrog up against the beast of the sea, Megalodon. Supernova Spinner. Named after the event that takes place when a star explodes, which can cause serious damage to anything in the vicinity, which this machine does with its giant flywheel. The design of the machine allows it to be able to drive both ways up, although the exposed wheels do look like juicy treats for any spinning blade. The Alien Spinner. A box design with a real wedge, armored in polycarbonate taken from old phone boxes with a spinning hammer and self-riding mechanism on top. The weapon will deliver the knocks in unison with its speed, but the self-riding mechanism isn't all that reliable, unfortunately.
Roboteers, stand by.
Supernova with the big flywheel and invertible design with the two wheels exposed, and the Alien with the spinning hammers and the polycarbonate body shell armor.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
Both two-wheel driven, and the Alien definitely quicker off the mark than Supernova. In fact, right now I'd say the Alien are the more aggressive of the two. Oh, but the spike, the combination with the flywheel of Supernova sending the Alien into the air, and now it's Supernova who is stuck on the wall. And this, so far, seems to be pretty close until that point. Something's flying off the Alien. I think that's one of the things holding the armor. And that's polycarbonate. That's a polycarbonate panel. So the blade of Supernova definitely doing some damage. And you know what? The polycarbonate body shell definitely holding up. I thought it'd come off a lot quicker because it's only polycarbonate, and that's a big flywheel on Supernova, so... But, hey, the Alien's proving me wrong. Withstanding the attacks, off comes another polycarbonate panel. But look at this, Supernova being pinged across the floor. And that could go against them, although the damage they're doing is definitely racking up. As is that, off comes the wheel. Look at this, a great snipe shot there, the straight hub. Off it comes, and that dislodged the tire. And now the Alien are stuck in the corner, and they cannot drive. That wheel gone, and the Alien are now immobilized. Poor Alien, and they were doing very good standing up to the blade of Supernova, but I think that was inevitable. Poor the Alien. Down they go, cease is called, and it's Supernova who get the victory. Well done to them. Poor Alien. The wheel sniped off. No chance of coming back, but a very valiant effort standing up to that blade. No shame in losing that fight. They stood up well, but sadly the Alien are out. Next up, the Void and Tantalus. The Void. Lifter. The design of this machine seems to have been inspired by both Biohazard and Storm 2. Very low, making high blades useless against it, apart from the wheels. The lifting arm is very big and wide to topple over the opposition. Looks like a promising contender. Wonder how tough the armor is. Tantalus! Walkerbot! A very scary bug-like creature seeming to look like something from a different planet. Also a very bizarre kind of Walkerbot. Not seen one move the way this one does. The front bank spikes are what help cause the damage, don't know what kind of damage it'll cause, but it'll cause it. I'd like to see what the tail can do, but I'm not overly sure how long this machine will last, to be perfectly honest with you.
Robot ears, stand by.
The Void with the lifting panel, and Tantalus, the big walker-bot with the front spikes, and the gigantic swinging tail.
3, 2, 1.
Now the Void will definitely be quicker. See, that's what I meant by Tantalus. It moves differently from other walker-bots. It's almost like a shuffle bot. And I'm really not sure what type of damage that thing can do. Meanwhile, the Void throwing Tantalus over. Now it'd be interesting to see how Tantalus moves from that, if they can. Meanwhile, the Void pressurizes them, and pressurizes them again with a flip it into the pit! And that's a very quick victory there for the Void. Tantalus in the pit, I think they're throwing the tire out. Well done, boys. But it's the Void who gets the victory. Tantalus, disappointingly out, and going back to their home world. Meanwhile, the Void didn't have to do much in that fight as they progress through. Next up, it's Behemoth and the Kraken. Behemoth Lifter. Just like Dietor and Mortis from the last two heats, Behemoth is another iconic machine in Rebel Wars, and unlike the other two, has been ever present in the series since its debut in the Second Wars. Very tough armor and a very strong front bucket scoop, which has caused many issues for many a competitor in the past, while Behemoth's issue is that they seem to have some sort of love affair with the pit. Right. The Kraken Spinner! A very evil-looking creature with menacing crushing claws that they had holes drilled through to help keep the weight down, and an overhead circular saw on a swinging arm. It seems like a good competitor, but the claws do cause a bit of a ground clearance issue, and I'm not sure if there's a Shreemech on board.
Robot ears, stand by.
Behemoth with the lifting bucket running off CO2, and the Kraken with the crushing claws, and the overhead circular saw arm.
3, 2,
Looks a little bit like Dead Metal Circa Series 1 and 2. And very effective as well, as it's already gone around to the side of Behemoth to bring that weapon down. And are still trying to Behemoth underneath, throwing them over. But the Kraken able to get back as the angle is just right for them. Now, getting onto the side again, Behemoth. And I mentioned the ground clearance! Those arms, gosh, but look at that, self-right, so yes, the Kraken can't self-right. Look at this flip there for Behemoth, over goes the Kraken, but just quickly self-rights. That's very good, and the Kraken once again pushing at Behemoth. This is great driving here from Behemoth, and now out goes Kraken! The Kraken's gone at the arena, and a great end from the Kraken comes to a grisly end. Look at this again. One push, one flip, and over the wall at the arena, and that's the end of the Kraken. Well done to Behemoth. They go through without going into the pit for once. Something they have done in live events, apparently. Anyway, Behemoth through, the Kraken's out. Next up, Bullfrog and Megalodon. Bullfrog Flipper. A low-wage with a gas-powered flipper armored in Hardox with a two-wheel drive system. The gas-powered flipper will help them throw enemies over and get themselves back into the fight if flipped, but the exposed wheels might prove to be an issue. Megalodon Lifter. The biggest shark known to man has entered our arena to gnash and gnaw the opposition and swallow them all as they attack with the lifting jaw face, and can do extra damage with the rear tail by spinning around. The gigantic ground clearance won't really cause an issue, as the machine can run both ways up, but the exposed wheels are another story.
Robot ears, stand by.
Bullfrog with the CO2 powered flipper, and Megalodon with the gigantic lifting jaw. This seems like a mismatch here,
2,
and I'll tell you why it looks like a mismatch. Just look at these two. Bullfrog is smaller than Megalodon, but has more power in the flipper, so they've got the more stronger weaponry compared to Megalodon. which is very good. And they're throwing Megalodon up onto the wall again, and I think Megalodon are stuck there. Nope, they're free, but what's happened to Bullfrog? They've suddenly suffered... Megalodon, what? How have you rammed up the wall? How on earth? What did you do? How? I mean, Bullfrog in the corner is now... and now Megalodon have gotten themselves stuck. Wow. I could do with some help as to what this fight is, please. In comes Megalodon now for the attack on Bullfrog, who seems very much immobilized. And Megalodon now gnashing down on Bullfrog. And, well, I guess this is fitting. A shark can easily eat a frog. Can actually eat it whole. In all honesty, the shark and the frog. And this is definitely Megalodon. What happened to Bullfrog? They just stopped. And Megalodon bouncing up and down from the spike. You might want to get off that. And I feel like Megalodon have basically just been handed this fight. As Bullfrog gets bounced up and down by the spike again. And Megalodon coming in. They can probably just leave him now. There's nothing really left. They are well and truly out.
Cease.
And there you have it. Completely dead. Bullfrog gone. Megalodon practically just given the victory there. It's a bit surprising what happened to Bullfrog, but that's the end of the Bullfrog. They're out. And this is how round 2 lines up. Behemoth against the Beast of the Sea, Megalodon. The first up, 2 space bots, Supernova and the Void.
Robot ears, stand by.
Supernova with the spinning flywheel that ripped the alien's wheel off. And the Void that very quickly dispatched the Walkerbot Tantalus.
3, 2, 1.
Probably be more of a challenge for the Void this one, actually. Real weapon, which is already seems to have been deflecting Supernova and has already thrown Supernova into the air. So Supernova now up and over, but the flywheel still able to rip into the Void. Not effectively though. They can do a bit of bouncing off, but whoa, something seems to have shattered from there. Is that a wheel of something? I'm not too sure. Probably, but the Void withstanding the attack. Oh, until that point! And the Void in the pit! And that's the end! A little dink from Supernova, and that's the end of the Void. I was about to say that the Void way too low for any serious damage to be done from the blade of Supernova, but it makes no difference. Supernova gets the victory, and you know, I think what happened was they shattered one of the Void's wheels. That's how they got the victory. Compromise the drive, and the Void sadly crash out. Well done to Supernova, they're through to the Heat Final. Again, commiserations to the Void, but sadly, they're out. Supernova through. Next up, Behemoth and Megalodon.
Robot ears, stand by.
Behemoth, the tough armored robot with the big bucket scoop, and Megalodon with the swinging tail at the back, the front lifters, and all the ground clearance in the world. This, to me, feels like an open and shut case.
3, 2,
1.
Although having said that, this is Robot Wars, anything can happen, like Megalodon getting a hold of Behemoth, and seemingly to be able to control them. And now Behemoth... Well, okay, yeah, that'll work. Look at this, what did you do? They went after Behemoth and overshot, I think, or they got dummied. Either way, they slipped and skidded into the pit. And now Megalodon's gone. I think Behemoth's trying to get Megalodon out of the pit. They felt that was too quick of a fight, but now they're stuck. And now they're back. They're back from the pit. I told you they have a love affair with it. And now going in, sees gold, and they're not gonna bother. Behemoth gets the victory somehow. Well, what was that, Megalodon? Whatever it was, you're out. And this is the group heat final, Supernova and Behemoth. This is gonna be interesting. Two Robot Wars classics. Supernova and Behemoth, effectively Titans in Robot Wars. Let's see what they got here. Supernova took on the Alien. Struggled a bit at first, but managed to get some damage in. Ripped off some polycarbonate panels and some of the braces. This was the kill shot though. Off came the wheel hub. This lodged the tire actually. And no life left for the Alien. Died against the corner. And that was effectively the end of them. And then the Void got one flip in the Void, actually. And throughout this attack, throughout this fight, Supernova, that was all Supernova could really do. Shatter the wheels, which dislodged the drive. But throughout the fight, they couldn't really do any real damage. Not to the body shell, anyway. But they got a clip in, and the Void then too close over the pit and fell in. And that was Supernova's victory. And then Behemoth struggled against the Kraken, just like Supernova did against the Alien, but Behemoth was a bit more dominant, throwing the Kraken, who quickly self-righted there, and were pretty in control and aggressive on Behemoth, even slamming them to the wall. But Behemoth then took action and then threw them over and out of the arena. And then the fight, I guess you could say, with Megalodon. Not much of a fight as they overjudged the attack and drove into the pit.
Roboteers, stand by.
Supernova with the big flywheel and Behemoth with the big lifting bucket scoop.
3, 2, 1.
Will Supernova get revenge on Behemoth? It'll be great to see, because do not forget, these two have fought before in Robot Wars, the 5th Wars. Supernova very much on top, and then Behemoth stole the victory, and I think right now it might just be Behemoth that's on top, although Supernova ripping into the scoop of Behemoth, and I'd say to be superficial, but look at that, the bottom part of the scoop's gone, so that's not as superficial as I thought, but Behemoth can take the hits, can take the knocks they could before, both flung into the air, and this is a very, very good fight here. Oh, and Behemoth down the pit! And I said they had a love affair with it, and that's evident. Look at this. I think it was more Supernova here. Look at that. Yes, it was. The flywheel catching them off, and they drove too far over the pit. And that's the end of Behemoth into the pit. Cease has been called, Supernova. Knock it off. Supernova through to the grand finals. And that is our third Deadly Spinner through. Can someone please enter something that's not a spinner, please? Please, 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 for the love of God, please. Because I don't want the heat finals just to be all spinners, to be perfectly honest. But well done to AK9K with Supernova coming through to the grand finals to join me, Taylor Gang, with High AF, and Shanika with Pika Destroy. And I look forward to seeing what's going to happen in the next heat. So, barricade your windows and lock your doors, because chaos is about to reign on Robot Wars. Bye-bye.